I hope that you just enjoyed the story that you got to listen to. Now, let's go ahead and see what our directions are for our activity. All of the activities that we're going to need for today are going to be found in books, books, books. So it doesn't matter which grade level you are, but we are going to be in books, books, books. You will find here the voting form where we'll get to vote. I'll talk about that. And you'll also find where I can see the activity board for our One School, One Book teaser. One activity that I will need you to do today is to help me vote for bookmarks. If you remember, we had a chance for third through fifth graders to design a bookmark, and then we voted on the best ones. I also opened up this opportunity for kindergarten, first, and second grade. I've never had any kindergarten students submit any, but I did have first and second graders. Now, what I need from you is to help me pick which ones you think are the best. So, here I'm going to find the K2 bookmark voting form, and I'm going to first look at the first grade submissions. Your job is to pick one that you think is the best, then hit next. Once you hit next, now you're looking at the ones that are from second grade. Go ahead and look through and click on the one that you think is the best and hit the purple submit. Thank you for taking the time to vote. Okay, and now it is time to get ready for our activity. As I mentioned before, we are going to be starting our new One School, One Book next week. Now, for this, everyone in our school will get a copy of the same book and we'll read it together and enjoy it, do all kinds of activities and trivia, and have a special night at the end. If you have a brother or sister at our school, whoever is the youngest is the one who will bring the book home. So, to get you excited about it and give you some clues, I have some pictures up here on the screen. I want you to think about, do you know what any of these things are? Think in your head. Let's take a look at each one. Each of these is a clue of something that's going to be found in our book. We'll start here with the rescue dog. This is a search and rescue dog. One of the characters in our book that we'll be reading has a search and rescue dog. These dogs are there to help humans when they are lost. So, for example, let's say there was a big earthquake and a building collapsed and a human was trapped inside. It might be hard for other humans to know that somebody is stuck. But because a dog has such a good sense of smell, they can find that human and help rescue them. They're used in collapsed buildings, avalanches, all kinds of places where a human might be stuck and we don't know. So our book will have a search and rescue dog. Our book is also going to feature something called a covered wagon. Okay. When you are out on the road with your family, you probably don't see these on the road, do you? That's because we have cars now. But back in the 1800s, when our book takes place, there were no cars. They used these covered wagons. They were usually pulled by horses or ox, and in there you would have all the materials you need. It could be bacon, it could be flour, it could be clothing, it could be all kinds of different things. That was one of the ways people got around. So there's going to be a covered wagon. Who drove those covered wagons? That would be these people over here. These are called pioneers. When people first came to America, we stayed in one little part of America, which is crazy because it's a big country. So people realized they wanted to go live in other places and move out west. And so what they did was they were pioneers and they were brave, and they went on a special trail using their covered wagons to go live in new places and build new towns. That trail is called the Oregon Trail. This was a very dangerous journey for families. A lot of people did not survive. There were no rest areas or gas stations or anything along the way, and so they had to have all their own food and shelter, and it was sometimes dangerous terrain and weather. So the Oregon Trail is what they used to try to get out there. While they were on the Oregon Trail, sometimes they would come across Native Americans who sometimes live in these little huts called teepees. Sometimes Native Americans would help, but sometimes they would feel threatened and could attack. All of these are clues for our new book. Now, today what you're going to do is you are going to pick an activity that you would like. So, for example, if I click on the covered wagon, Here are my options. Now, I made this board for kindergarten through 5th grade. Some things might be too difficult for you. If it is, you don't have to do it. So, for example, there you can watch a video about covered wagons. You could learn how to draw a wagon. And this Google Earth here shows VR of what the covered wagons look like. If I'm not interested in those, I can press the home button and click on something new. If I click on the search and rescue, I can watch a video about dogs becoming search and rescue dogs. I could learn how to draw a retriever, which is a type of dog they often use for search and rescue. This here is a link about can dogs have jobs? And then here's 2 books that you could read or listen to. Continuing on, if I click on Oregon Trail, there is a Nearpod here that shows me around. So does the Google Earth too. I can look at what different places look like. Here is a map. If I click on it, I can see where the Oregon Trail is. And finally, this video shows drone footage of what some places look like along the Oregon Trail. If I click on the Pioneers, this will take me to a place where I can either read books or when it loads all the way, I should be able to watch a video over here. It should pop up on your screen, but it's a video of what it would be like to be a kid living in the 1800s. So sorry it's not showing up there, but it'll show up on yours. Finally, if I click on the teepee, I can learn a little bit more about Native Americans. I can watch a BrainPop video. There's a game. This is kind of hard, so I would say this is for my older grade levels. And then there's a book you can listen to. Try to pick at least one activity that seems interesting to you. I have paper over on top of the bookshelves by the purple crates if you need it for a drawing activity. Have fun!